What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you for tuning in for another episode. So happy to have everybody here. Today's topic is a little bit of a deep one, but we're only able to really scratch the surface because there's not really a whole lot of information out there. So you may have seen where the DOJ put out yesterday, they arrested the creator of REvil or Shibokai. I've never been great on hooked on phonics, so sorry about that. I'm probably butchering it. But the REvil ransomware gentleman, well, the fella, now 22, was arrested and is in the state of Texas going through arraignment and all the legal issues that are going on there. I started diving into this one a little bit earlier because it's really an interesting story. Take, you know, the whole what he did and what he created a little bit out of the picture, if you will. Well, maybe not, but this guy really, when he was 13, he sent a message to his parents that he wants to cause some havoc. He even said, everything that you see and you hear about me, it will be true, right? If they say nasty things about me, believe every word. And he did this when he was at the age of 13 in 2013. Right after that, he created the ransomware payload that is now known as the REvil. It was rebranded from Shibukai, whatever you want to pronounce it, and it morphed into and became rebranded as REvil. So a 13-year-old created a ransomware payload, sold it as a ransomware as a service to other hackers, and caused massive mayhem, literally globally, breaching into networks, being able to ransomware and completely knock networks completely offline for days, weeks, and some cases months at a time. And if you didn't pay them, the actual operators, then they would just leak your data on their name or shame site, right? So it's really just interesting that this guy, the way he got caught is really, I don't understand it myself. So the guy is from Ukraine, and this is long before what's going on in current events, right? So take current events out. He's been arrested, or he was arrested in Poland because he went there for some sort of trip or whatever, which is really interesting because I don't understand why this guy would even go to Poland. The FBI had him on one of the America's Most Wanted list. Poland is an extradition company or a country, and he went there. I don't know what he was thinking, knowing that you know he could get arrested. Maybe he thought he was above the law or couldn't get caught or something. I don't know. But the DOJ, after he was arrested in Poland and brought to Texas on extradition, he appeared and he's not really saying a whole lot. They're like I said, they're going through the entire process of everything now. Um, it's really interesting that in this whole Department of Justice DOJ article, and the links are down in the show notes if you want to look at them yourself, everything is wrapped around Kaseya, which is really weird, right? Because, you know, like I mentioned a moment ago, they created such mayhem, such destruction on networks globally that it took the Kaseya breach to bring this guy down, or that's what they're going to actually charge him with. So I don't know. It's going to be a really interesting scenario to watch it play out. And the reason I'm saying it's going to be interesting is I want to really know two things. One, how did he create the ransomware empire that became REvil? They are argumentatively one of the top five ransomware groups that have been around in recent time, maybe of all time. To be argumentative about it, but how did he go from 13 years old saying, knowing he was going to do bad things or he had created bad things and was going, telling his parents, look, everything you see, believe it, it's going to be true, to actually, actually doing all these things. And what was his current involvement? The the other thing I really am curious about is, what about repayments to companies who have been breached? So, companies have a way to file with the FBI that you've been, hit with a certain ransomware, and you get a case number. 9 times out of 10, or in more cases than not, most companies do not send off that notification to the FBI or anything like that. So I wonder what the repercussions will be against this individual, um, around this. Like, if your business or your home network was actually impacted by the REvil, once he is found guilty in a court of law, is there a way that these companies can go back and now say, hey, we were hit, we are due damages for this? So this one's definitely going to be an interesting one to follow. I can't wait to see how all this plays out. I know this, I shouldn't take any pleasure in this, but I kind of am a little bit, the one that he is caught. As of today, the REvil Ransomware group is not currently active. Their name and shame site is down. I haven't seen any reports in the InfoSec community that they are actively, breaching any new networks or anything like that. So, between that, the seizure of some of the folks that were in Russia, we talked about it before, Shiv and I, about, we think it's just them laying low, and this could be a part of the whole picture. So I don't know. It's going to be really interesting to see that. But there was a couple other stories I really wanted to talk about today, but our good friend Gerald is going to be doing Simply Cyber at the top of the hour. Definitely go over there and check this channel out. Shameless plug. Yes, it is sponsored by our organization. But there's a lot of stuff that's going to be talked about that's really interesting that he's going to be bringing up today. So definitely want to save some of that stuff for him. But until then, or thank you everybody for tuning in. We will be bringing more frequent of these smaller podcasts around some of these topics that we have. Please leave your comments down in the bottom. We greatly appreciate it. And until next time, take care.
There once was a kid whose passwords laid across all sites. They were the same, a criminal, then found their fame by taking that data to go.
Soon may a criminal come to steal your pictures and data and run. One day when the crime is done, they'll steal your account and go.